The 2009 Pacific Cup final paired hosts PNG with a Cook Island side that had already eliminated the might of Samoa and Fiji. Over 10,000 locals were desperate for a Cumul's victory, and with it the chance to join Australia, New Zealand and England in next year's Four Nations tournament. The Cumul's lined up with David Mead of the Gold Coast Titans at fullback, and it was Richard Cambo, Sheffield Menzi Yere, Anton Cooey and John Wilshire the captain from the Salford City Reds. Dion Aye and Keith Peters were the halves. In the front row, Rodney Pora, Jay Aston and James Nightingale. The Crusaders' Jason Chan and Siegfried Gander in the second row, with Glenn Darmy at loose forward. On the bench for the Cumul's, Hunslet's Charlie Wabo, Tu Maori, Tyson Martin and George Money. For the coach, Adrian Lamb. The Cooks lined up with Moni Cora at fullback, and it was Lulia, Keith Lulia, Gelling and Peru. The halves, Mataora and Jonathan Ford. In the front row, it was Captain Terry Glassy, Fefulea and Veu, Makimara and Tetevano in the second row, with Arona at loose forward. On the bench, it was Matapuku, Teya, Takiarangi and Leon Panipa. For the coach, former St Helens prop David Fairley. And your commentary team once again, Mark Sapace, Api Kasman and Stephen Dalwaninikora.
As the Cooks get a roll on here towards the midfield region again. They work it across field now. This is Arona stepping off his right foot, and he takes again 3 Cumul defenders to put him down onto his back. And that's 5 tackles now for the Cooks. What do they do here? Goes across to Ford. He puts the kick through. It's been stopped by the Cumuls and then, well, knocked on by the Cumuls. So 6 to go is the call. The Cooks end up with the football again as they come back towards grandstand side, towards midfield. And Indian taking tackle Fepulea, and Fepulea will play it 35 metres away from dummy half. Picking it up and trying to go forward is Mataora, and now he does. Mataora 2 dummies and then went through and finally put down 22 metres away from the Cumul's line as the Cooks throw it again now to the left of Gayal. Long ball across field into the hands there of Lulia. Ball's gone to ground, cleaned up by the Cumuls, and India knocked over the sideline, and we'll come back for the knock-on, I feel. Scrum to go down, 20 away from the Cumul line.
Well, that was a big opportunity for the Cumuls to race away against the run of play with a wayward pass going on ground, but unfortunately for the Cumuls, a bit of a knock-on there on the left-hand side, but it's good to see that they're ready to strike and they're coming here to score tries.
Yeah, both teams are ready to strike at this stage, but I tell you the big difference in the way they're running up is that the Cumuls are going one-on-one with this very big and strong Cook Islands pack. What the Cook Islanders in their response are doing are running at the gaps, and that's where they're making their offloads, with the Cumuls deciding to go high and upper body strength in the favor of the visiting Cook Islanders.
The Cumuls with the football again from the scrum wing. David Mead from fullback comes in, picks it up, and then he sends a beautiful ball back in field now to Richard Cambo, and it's a foot race from here on in, up to the 20, up to it, they shut the gate, the horse is bolted. Cambo will put it down for the Cumuls, 4 points to 0.
And that's what's going to happen. The Cook guys have got to stir into dummy half and take advantage of these bigger Cook Islanders forwards who are walking back into the 10-meter line now. As we have a look at the replay, it's about to come up on your screens.
And here's David Mead making the initial half break up, and then Cambo, you'll see, loom up on his right-hand flank, picks it up, and then there was nobody home for the Cooks. And then from then on, it was a foot race. The cover defense tried hard coming across. Lulia was one of the quickest to get there and had a last attempt to ankle tap him, but in the end, Cambo just too quick and managing to put the football down. 4 points to 0. And now play underway again through Sema Mataora, and that's gone straight over the dead ball line. That's a mistake from the kickoff, so we're going to come back to the halfway line for a penalty to the Cumuls.
Big mistake there from the Cook Islanders. Just when they thought that they'd been struck once and struck hard, a penalty. We'll see Cumuls South Destero just about 40 meters away from their line, and with these features in this Cumul team, there'd be worrying signs for the Cook Islanders.
There's David Mead, pretty good touch finder.
Actually 30 meters.
Against the breeze as the Cumuls work it forward again. Now here's Rodney Pora. 24 meters away now from the Cooks line. They're on the attack again. They work it across now to the left. And now inside the Cook Islands red zone. As Yere picks it up from dummy half, comes towards midfield, tries to bust his way through, and then held up by the Cook's defence. They can't get him. Now they do, finally, and put him to ground. And he's only 4 metres away now from the Cook Islands line. Kummels on the attack. Across field now to Peters. Peters, short ball, and picking up Sigfrid Gunde coming through. Gunde is put down, though, still 3-4 metres away. Back towards the left now, the Kummels work it. Nami wasn't expecting that one, but in the end he took it and took the tackle as well. 5 tackles have gone now for the Kummels. Here's the last option. What do they do here? Back across field to Peters. What does he do? He shapes the kick and then sends across to Ayer. Ayer sends it on as well to Menzi Yere. Yere across the far side of the paddock. Back to Wiltshire. He wasn't expecting it, and the ball's gone to ground. So it's all ended up in an anti-climax for the Kummels.
Oh, that was terrible. The halves needed to put that ball into the in goal and force another set of 6, but instead they've chanced their arm, and none of their backline were really ready and expecting that.
So the Cooks now with the job of getting out of their 20 again. Work it back up. And there's a knock-on being found in there.
Yeah, Mark, that knock-on has come courtesy of some very solid defense by the Kummels. They're fired up after that first try. I tell you, there's something dangerous that is starting to unfold on this right-hand side, because there's a lot of communication now between Keith Peters and his outside backs, and especially between David Mead and Anton Kui.
So the scrum to be packed down on the Cook Islands 20. The Kummels now with another opportunity. Another set of 6 here. Attacking the Cook's line. Peters, one dummy. Cuts out a man. David Mead joins in the line. Here's Cumbo on his outside. He won't need him because Mead will slide straight through and run it around towards the uprights and put the football down.
How quick is David Mead on this right-hand side? The Cook Islanders looked like they had him covered, but all of a sudden he turned on the gas. As we see on the replay, Mark.
Yep, the ball there, the cutout ball to Mead, and he just held up the football, kept them in 2 minds, and then sliced straight through and moving around and putting it down a bit closer to the uprights.
What a brilliant PNG Kummels try.
And 32 metres away now from their own line, the Kummels, in their own territory. This is Glenn Nami working it forward again, and Nami now 12 metres away from halfway. As Aston works it across now to his left.
Chan's done a lot of work early in the first half.
As he plays another one, 5 away from halfway, and then back towards the midfield region, edge of the ruck again. The Kummels work it, and they're working forward, and it is they're earning their money this afternoon as they work forward. Aston appealing to the referee to get the Cooks off the tackle player, but in the end Peters puts right foot to ball back there now. Tickenau for the Cooks picks it up and runs it back up towards his 20, where he's met in some good defence from the Kummels, and they manage to keep him on his 20-metre line.
I tell you what, Mark, how good was that chase by the Red, Black and Golds after that kick by Keith Peters? 6 or 7 Kummels players up there, in effect, in the first tackle.
As the Cooks work it across field, they manage to keep the football alive twice in this little passage of play. Then they work it forward again, and there's a spilt ball again, and they're giving the Kummels yet another chance. So here goes Jason Chan, and Chan coming towards grandstand side touchline is put down 36 metres away.
Tell you what, the handling errors are really hurting the Cook Islanders. They've been their own worst enemy in the first 20 minutes of this test fixture.
As Richard Cumbo works it up to the 30-metre line. That's the Cook Islands 30-metre line where he'll play it on. And then Aston works back towards his right-hand flank and picks up Sigfrid Gunde, and Gunde 23 metres away is put down by the Cook's defence. Aston again back in towards Peters. Peters, one dummy, 2 dummies, and then cuts out a man, sends it to Ayer. Ayer, long ball floater over the top to Menzi Yere. Yere picks it up on the bounce, comes back in field again, brushes away 1, brushes away 2, then dives over a metre from the far side corner post, but the Dutch judge's flag is up. We'll play it again. They've just got to knuckle down and see if they can get some points on the board and not let the Kummels get too far ahead from them, as we see some good Kummel defence here. The referee allows it to go as the Cooks were asking for something, for a little bit of assistance there, as they work it back again now towards grandstand side. 5-6 metres away from the line. Long ball thrown back to Ford. Ford will put right foot to ball as he punches it through. Going to bounce up in the air for Mead, and he takes that 10 out from his line. He's a crowd favourite. Every time he touches the football, the crowd come alive as he comes back up. Almost makes a half break, but he's wrapped up, ball and all. And 35 out from the line. He'll play the football quickly. Chan picks it up from dummy half. They work back again now. Edge of the ruck again, and 7-8 metres away from halfway. the Kumuls. They're all eager. Everyone wants to get into the dummy half position. As they work it forward now through Menzi Yered. Yered put down again, still 5 meters away from halfway. Now Aston, back in field. Up towards the halfway mark and over halfway, and now inside Cook Island territory, the Kumuls. They inch their way forward now through Tyson Martin, who's on the paddock. Now Aston again takes the ball from dummy half and scampers another 5, 6, 7, 8 meters up towards the Cook Islands try line. And on the fifth tackle,
on the bench, George Money on for the Kumuls.
They work it to the right now to Peters. Here's another kick from Peters, was played at, I think. Play on, says the referee. It's picked up, it's gone back in field, but the Kumuls have lost the football with the line wide open. And that was Tyson Martin after receiving the final pass. And he left it. I don't know if he was thinking of how he was going to score the try, or he scored the try before he had the football. Doesn't matter, it's gone. The Cooks have turned defense into attack now. They're still inside their red zone. They breathe a sigh of relief as they work it back out of their red zone again. And now 25 meters out, and they'll get another penalty here.
Stay away from there.
And the Kumuls have to be a bit cautious here, because sometimes with the disappointment of not scoring a try, you can really drop your guard, and they've just considered a penalty here. They've got to watch what they're doing here.
Oh, that's a massive kick. That is a huge kick downtown.
That is a brilliant kick. That kick has found touch 10 meters away from the Kumuls line, and how good a kick was that, using the breeze to its fullest. And what a great result for the Cook Islands. So here they go. Can they do something here? Quick tap taken by young Pepulai, and he goes back towards the far side. There's no support with him, and in the end he took the tackle himself. And now from the dummy half position, they try to barge their way over out wide, but they're still held up, still a meter short of the Kumul line as the Kumul defense holds, and the Cooks tried to do something here to get some points on the board. They've got numbers to the left here, but a lot of one-off running, taking the hit-ups, and they're still held up, still 3-4 meters away now from the Kumul line. Cook Islands on the attack inside the Kumul 20. Long ball across field needed, and here's the short ball that's thrown into the hands there of Mataora, but Mataora is held up, or is he held up? Has he managed to get the football down? The referee says he has, and the Cooks are in.
Oh, a lot of momentum in that big charge by the back row from the Cook Islands, and he scores under the post.
John Wilshire puts right foot to ball. The breeze holds it up around the 20-meter line, and then the Cooks work it straight back out of their 20, and now held up.
Stand square.
22 meters out from their own line on the return. Back in field again, Panapa.
Keep coming, hold, go.
He'll play it on his 30. And then the short ball to Ben Tyre. Tyre hits and turns, and now 12 away from halfway. The Cook Islands getting a roll on again. It goes across to Fepulea, puts right foot to ball. And it was a 40-20 chance, and we'll see what happens here. See what the touchdown is. He's called it out, the good 40-20 from the Cook Islands. So they've come all the way back down here, and using the breeze to perfection, you could say, this afternoon, the Cooks.
How quickly can a game sway? In 2 minutes, the Cook Islands have put points on the board, and they're back again here, about 15 meters out with a scrum feed and a fresh set of 6 to throw at the Kumuls. The Kumuls don't look too good defending on their line, so a bit more attitude needed, a bit more attitude in defense needed from the PNG Kumuls, the local team.
The scrum being put down 17 meters away from the Kumul line. The Cooks feed, the Cooks pick it up, and the Cooks send it across Mataora, sending it across field immediately. They've got numbers across to the left here. All it needs is the quick hands, and it's gone that way to Lulia, and Lulia dives over. They've caught the Kumuls napping. There was no cover at all, and the Cooks, they've hit back, they've locked it up here, 10 points apiece.
Oh, we spoke about this last week. Anton Kui doesn't move up in defense. He hangs back on his heels, and he's given his opposite centre a lot of room to move, and all he's done is shuffle it across to his wing on the left-hand side. One easy step in, and it's one of the easiest tries he'll score here in the Pacific Cup.
And Ben Tyre looking to add the extras and put the Cooks ahead for the first time this afternoon.
Yeah, they've been very composed in attack. Kumul scored 2 really quick tries, and they've just gone to sleep. Cook Islanders off some really brilliant kicking from Fepulai, the man of the match from last week's match, has put them in good stead.
So Tyre moves in, and that's hit the uprights and come back again. So Wilshire kicking against the breeze. That'll hold up again on the 20 underneath it. Lulia picks it up, the try scorer brings it back again, and then driving back with it into the ground, much to the crowd's delight, and he's lost the football for good measure. So That's the reply that the Kumuls wanted.
I tell you, Keith Peters was absolutely inspirational in that one. He just charged in and said, "You buy kiss him time," and he tackled him with everything he had, forced the ball up, and that's what they need to do. Turn defense into attack.
They're getting a bit emotional.
Yeah, the big fella on the sideline.
Apologies to our viewers around the world who don't really understand what Stevie D is saying. He's speaking one of the local language there.
Of which we have over 800. So the Kumuls on the 30, on the 20-meter line, rather working across. Dion Aye holds up the football. Mead joins in the line, and Mead tries to step through, but they pick him up. They've got him worked out for the time being, and 17 away now. The Kumuls will play the football. Back across field now. It goes to Pora, the short ball, and then they bring in George Money, and Money up towards the 10-meter line, and he'll play a 10 away from the line. Wabble from dummy half, holds it up. They've got numbers to the left here. The Kumuls, if they work it that way, but going to ground with the football was Chan, and he plays it 4 meters away. Wabble across to Ayer. Ayer again, long ball across field. It's gone to nobody, and they've lost 20 meters in a little passage of play as they try to work and regroup here, work something out of it, and then Sigmund Gunde will play the football 22 meters away. Anton Kui from dummy half, through the dummy, went himself. There was nothing there, and he just took the tackle, and that's another tackle gone in this set of 6. 5 tackles have gone. Gunned at the dummy half, back across now to Peters. Peters, the kick that's gone into the hands, play on, says the referee, 6 to go is the call. Peters regathers, as was played at by Daniel Patulai for the Cook Islanders. So the Kumuls another set of 6 now. Wabo across field, cuts out a man to Ayer. Ayer holds it up, does the half goose step, tries to slice his way through. They pull him back by the jersey, and then they hold him up 1.5 meters short of the Cook Islands line. The referee blows it up, and there's a penalty for a strip.
Decision time here for the Kumuls captain, John Wilshere. What will he do? Will he go for the 2, or will he go for the 4-pointer? Well, Keith Peters has just said, I'll take this kick to the sideline. Johnny Wilshere parked on the wing there.
Yeah, just giving themselves a bit more room. So he's aimed to kick it to at least 10 meters up, which he has done, and now they work it across now. Into the hands there of George Money, and Money working his way through on the first tackle in this fresh set of 6 again for the Kumuls. 4 meters away, Wabble works it across to his left again, into the hands of Chan, tries to barge his way over. Does he get the football down? No, he doesn't, says the referee. Play the football, son. Back across the work it again now. Across the park, long line across field to Peters. Peters, he cuts out a man, sends it across quickly to the hands of Gunde. Gunde holds it up. Anton Kui. Kui dives over, puts the football down.
A simple overlap, as we can see, number 6 there racing up, and it came with Keith Peters, who summed up the situation well. A nice cut-out pass to Sigmund out the wide, and Anton Kui there.
As Peters plays it quickly, Wabo works at the short side again. Long ball across field. Beautiful hands from Kambo. Picks it up, slips one out the back door to Anton Kui. Kui comes back in field again. Then slips it to Wabo. Wabo on the fly. Threw it back in field, but that'll be a knock-on, I think, against the Kumuls. And the referee will call it back as a knock-on.
Exciting stuff done this right-hand side with a couple of nice little interchange passes there. But Charlie Wabo just trying to do too much at the end there. Maybe should have taken the tackle with the Kumuls, having the Cook Islanders at 6s and 7s. As you can see on the replay here, Charlie Wabo taking that, and that's the last pass that probably didn't need to be thrown. Bit of patience probably needed to be shown there by the PNG Kumuls.
It's how exciting are these outside backs for the Kumuls. Kamba, what a great pickup, and they put the ball back inside, and they're playing with a bit of confidence in their step right now. The puppet again inside.
Cooks are not done yet. They're on the 20-meter line. They work it across to Ford, and Ford holds it up and then looks for support as they work it again back towards their 30-meter line. And up to the 30, they managed to take the tackle on their 30 through Mataora, and Mataora will play it. 17 away from halfway. Back towards the short side again. They work the football. There's the dummy thrown, and trying to get his way through is Makimere, and then over the far side touchline, and another anticlimax.
Yeah, they've been the own worst enemy here, trying to run that short side with nothing really doing down there. No support play, no communication, and with 3 minutes to go, they've given the Kumuls another opportunity to post some points before half-time.
Put your head in. Put your head in.
You're absolutely right. Up. It's sort of straight from the game plan, and some silly options there from the Cook Islanders. Normally at this area of the field, they'll be kicking down, trying to get in the Kumuls on the back pedal and trying to keep them in their own red zone, but it hasn't been happening. They've come off the game plan. Kicking early with kick.
The Kumuls have kicked straight from the kickoff, and now it's a foot race. David Mead is in front. He'll grab the football. And how David Mead, you hero!
Oh, brilliant play there, and great vision by the half. There was one pick by Keith Peters. That was Johnny on the spot. He kicked it down about 40 meters, and David Mead's a fly. There's a touch of Billy Slater about David Mead here today. That's actually kicked from the 50-meter mark, as we see on the replay, and there was no fullback there for the Cook Islanders, and the only two guys in front were two PNG Kumals in yellow jumpers, and David Mead flying through, never really any opposition in the end. David Mead puts it down. He scored 2 tries already today. Oh, what a crowd pleaser David Mead is, and what a beautiful kick from Keith Peters. It's about time he's got one right.
The Papua New Guinea crowd here in the grandstands around the paddock have gone absolutely wild. That was a set move. That was the second time in this first half. The combination is a very deadly one between David Mead and Keith Peters. They're talking a lot on this paddock. They tried it earlier. It didn't come up, but this time they knew there was going to be open spaces in the back, and there they were. Try.
Yeah, Monica Ratikau, unfortunately for the Cook Islands, was caught napping. He was up and there was nobody home as the last line of defense, custodian at the rear of the defensive line for the Cook Islands, and they paid the penalty. And great vision from Peters there with the kick, straight from the scrum win, and made, just too quick down the middle, and in the end, all too easy for the Kumals. And the halftime hooter goes in the background. So the PNG Kumals 18 points, leading the Cook Islands on 10 points at the halftime break.